David Ruffin was one of those voices, a sound so powerful it could lift you up and break your heart in the same breath. He had everything: the fame, the looks, the talent. But behind that golden voice was a man haunted by demons that even success couldn't silence. This is the story of David Ruffin, the rise, the fall, and the legend that refuses to fade. David Eli Ruffin was born in 1941 in a little town called Why Not, Mississippi. Seems like a fitting name for a boy who dared to dream big. His father was a strict Baptist minister. His mother passed when he was just a kid, and his childhood was anything but easy. But even in those hard days, David had a gift. He started singing gospel with his siblings, travelling from church to church, that rough southern air shaping his voice into something truly special. By his teens, he was chasing music full-time. He bounced between Memphis and Detroit, performing anywhere he could, small clubs, churches, street corners, waiting for someone to notice that voice. And eventually, Motown did. In 1964, Ruffin joined the Key Temptations, replacing Elbridge Bryant. At first, he was just another member, until he opened his mouth to sing. When Berry Gordy heard him, he knew this was the sound that would define an era. Then came My Girl, a song written by Smokey Robinson, sung by David Ruffin, and instantly immortalized. It wasn't just a hit, it was the hit. That smooth, powerful tenor carried the Temptations to superstardom. Songs like Ain't Too Proud to Beg, I Wish It Would Rain, and I Know I'm Losing You followed, each one drenched in emotion only David could deliver. He wasn't just singing, he was living every note. But success has a way of testing people. As the Temptations became Motown's crown jewel, Ruffin's ego began to grow. He started showing up late, missing gigs, and demanding special treatment. He wanted his name out front, David Ruffin and the Temptations. To him, he was the group. But the Temptations were built on harmony, unity. And one man wanting the spotlight threatened to destroy it all. Add in the growing shadow of addiction, and the dream began to crumble. In 1968, the group made a painful decision. They fired him. Motown's brightest star was suddenly on the outside looking in. Ruffin went solo, and at first it looked promising. His debut single, My Whole World Ended, The Moment You Left Me, climbed the charts, proving his voice still had power. But the consistency wasn't there. Behind the scenes, he battled drug abuse, legal troubles, and personal chaos. The fame that once seemed endless was slipping through his fingers. Still, when David Ruffin stepped up to a microphone, the room would stop. That raw, pleading voice, it was unmatched. Even after leaving the Temptations, fans still called out for him. He was troubled, but he was magic. By the late 1980s, the world had changed, but David Ruffin's influence hadn't. Artists like Eddie Kendrick, his old bandmate, would occasionally reunite with him for shows. For brief moments, the old spark returned, but the years of addiction had taken their toll. On June 1st, 1991, David Ruffin was found dead in Philadelphia from a drug overdose. He was only 50 years old. Just like that, one of soul music's greatest voices was gone. Yet his impact, that couldn't die. Years later, in 1998, the Temptations miniseries brought his story back to life. Actor Leon stepped into his shoes, capturing Ruffin's fire, charm, and inner turmoil perfectly. And then came that line, "Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis." It became one of the most iconic moments in music biopic history. But here's the thing, that line wasn't even in the script. Leon ad-libbed it, and it felt so authentic, so David Ruffin, that it instantly became legendary. It summed him up in one line: bold, confident, unforgettable. David Ruffin lived fast, sang hard, and loved deeply. He was a man of contradictions, genius, and chaos all wrapped up in one. He wanted love but chased fame. He wanted peace but lived in turmoil. And yet, when that opening note of My Girl plays, the world still smiles. Because his voice, that unmistakable, soul-soaked voice, it will never die. He wasn't perfect, he was human. But in the end, that's what made him great. Because the pain, the passion, and the truth in his songs came from a real place. David Ruffin wasn't just another singer from Motown, he was Motown. And though his life ended too soon, his music, his soul, lives forever.